Boy, it's a long ride, dude. 2011 is the 10th anniversary of the terrorist attack on United States soil. Today we remember the fallen heroes of Flight 93 that crashed into the earth in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. This is what transpired that day. By the time Flight 93 was airborne, the other hijacked jets had already taken off and were closing in on their targets. American Airlines Flight 11 left Boston at 7:59 and hit the North Tower of the World Trade Center at 8:46. United 175 also lifted off from Boston at 8:14 and flew into the Trade Tower at 9:02. American Flight 77 veered off course at 8:55 and crashed into the Pentagon at 9:45. Once the poor terrorists took over Flight 93, passengers and crew were able to phone family, friends, and emergency officials to report the hijacking. During those calls, passengers learned about the horrific events in New York and Washington, D.C. The news had already saturated the airwaves. It was clear that the attacks were coordinated and their plane was part of the plan. That realization motivated passengers and crew to band together and fight. The courageous men and women aboard Flight 93 hatched a hasty, desperate plan to attack the terrorists and try to prevent them from hitting their selected target, probably the U.S. Capitol or the White House. The passenger leaders included Tom Burnett, Mark Bingham, Todd Beamer, Jeremy Glick, and the rest of the passengers and crew began making their final, heartbreaking calls to say goodbye to their family and loved ones. By 9:58, most cell phone calls had ended. The frantic fight had begun. Passenger Todd Beamer yelled out loud, "Okay, let's roll." At that time, 40 brave passengers and crew members chose the spot where they would die for our country. At 10:03, a black crater loomed in the earth, about 80 miles southeast of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Flight 93 went down in a wooded area in Shanksville, PA. These brave men and women did not die in vain. With this final act of heroism, they spared hundreds, perhaps thousands, of American lives. True patriots, they were not ordered to fight back. They did this act of bravery to save American lives. Daring, honorable, and self-sacrificing, the 40 men and women of Flight 93 are true American heroes. The story of Flight 93 is a legacy to us all. These are the heroes of Flight 93. Jason Dahl, Captain, United Airlines Flight 93. Lorraine Bay, United Airlines Flight Attendant. Deborah Ann Jacobs Welsh, Flight Attendant. Leroy Homer Jr., First Officer. Todd Beamer. Christian Adams. Alan Bevan. Mark Bingham. Dior Bodley. Sandra Bradshaw. Marion Britton. Thomas Burnett Jr. William Cashman. Georgine Rose Corrigan. Patricia Cushing. Joseph DeLuca. Patrick Driscoll. Edward Porter Felt. Jane C. Folger. Colleen Fraser. Andrew Garcia. Jeremy Glick. Lauren Grancolis. Wanda Green, Donald Green, Linda Grumlin, Richard Wandagna, Toshia Cooge, C.C. Lyles, Hilda Marcin, Waleska Martinez, Nicole Miller, Louis Knapp II, Donald Peterson, Jean Hoadley Peterson, Mark Rothenberg, Christine Snyder, John Talagnani, Elizabeth Wainano, Kristen Gold White. First Sergeant Joseph Bonacci. 10 hut! At ease, soldier. Joe Bonacci loves three things: his family, his country, and his bike. Joe was born and raised in Erie, Pennsylvania, and joined the Army Reserves at the age of 18. He continued serving his country for 21 years. He retired as a first sergeant of the 542nd Quartermaster Company stationed in Erie, PA. He's been married for 25 years to his wonderful wife, Sandy, and together they raised their daughter, Alex, who just finished her first year at Slippery Rock University. Joe's unit was one of the first to deploy to Uzbekistan and Afghanistan after September 11th. He was awarded a Bronze Star for his outstanding service while deployed. Joe was honored to be part of Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan, not only for himself, but for his family, his country, and especially for the victims of 9/11 that lost their lives that horrific day. First Sergeant Bonacci continues to serve his country as an advocate for veterans. He is very active with his VFW post as a board member. Joe is a true patriot who has served his entire career in the United States Army with distinction. He is a great family man and role model, and he is a true American hero. Thank you, Joe Bonacci, for your service. Superior Toyota is proud to give First Sergeant Joe Bonacci the opportunity to participate in Flight 93 Memorial Ride. Let's hear it for Joe. Yeah. I've got a send-off prayer for Joe. It's going to be read by the County Commander of the American Legion, Mr. Glenn Kennedy.
Before I start, I went and got a little guidance. Today I asked the parents of a couple of youngsters here what I was going to say was going to be all right. And he said yes. The other source of guidance I asked for was from Reverend Dale Francis from Presbyterian Ministry. And today, the message in the Presbyterian Church is it's a duty to love your neighbor. General George S. Patton, in one of his addresses to his soldiers, said your duty is not to die for your country, but make the other poor bastard die for his. If you've ever seen the movie We Were Soldiers Once and Young, Colonel Hal Moore was in the chapel with one of his lieutenants and was asked to pray with him. And as they concluded their prayers, just before they left, Colonel Moore said, Lord help us, we can kill those sons of bitches. Today, I would like to think that the leaders of Flight 93 saw their life coming to an end as they knew it, and it was their duty to kill those sons of bitches before they hurt anybody else. Those power heads in memory. If you follow these words, I think they'll suit us all for life. May the sun rise in front of you. May the wind fall behind you. May the rain stay behind you. May the angels of our brothers and sisters who've gone before you guard your travels, for they know the perils of the road ahead of you, will keep you safe through the rough city streets on your way to the land of swirling turns and rolling hills. Let the colors of fall keep you warm. Let the eagle guide you to the mountain. Let the moon's light guide you through the night. May your tires not fail you, nor your engine grow old. May your bike draw life from the streams you pass. Keep your seat soft and your mind sharp. Let the air of spring breathe life into your soul to journey to another adventure beside our brothers and sisters.